Shalom, shalom. First off, we're going to give our praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Kakorash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for teaching and preaching us the 100% truth and laboring. And salutations to the hopeful elect scattered abroad and making the common election sure, man. Shalom. Just a quick lesson through the Spirit. The Spirit was on me earlier and just had me thinking. Listen to the brothers from GMS Orlando and, just going to the title. The title, it says, what I got written down, it says, everything has a fullness of measurement to reach, because the Lord has a set measurement on things that they must reach, until they come into that fullness, until he brings forth that judgment or until something happens, and just like different things, man, but we'll get into it, and Lord, one of this video is edifying, man, through the Spirit, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah. But we'll just kick it off with the book of 2 Ezra 4:37, and it reads, by measure hath he measured the times, and by number hath he numbered the times. So it's telling you, he's what? Measured the times, and by number, he's numbered the times. From the top. 2 Ezra 4:37, by the measure hath he measured the times, and by number hath he numbered the times. And he doeth not move, nor stir them, until the said measure be fulfilled. So it's telling you, man, he measures the times, and he numbers the times. And what? He doesn't move nor stir them, and what? Into that fullness, into that measure, so like until the said measure be fulfilled, to that said measure that the Most High said, hey, until it reach this right here, I ain't gonna do nothing. Or until it comes to this certain point, then that's when we'll take action. Or, like I say, like going into the title, everything has a fullness of measurement that it has to reach, man. That it has to meet until the Lord actually start taking action, until he brings forth that judgment or before he, he gets fed up, whatever the case may be. And just to prove that, a quick example, we'll jump down to 40. 2 Ezra chapter 4 and verse 40. So he answered me and said, go thy way to a woman with child, and ask of her, when she hath fulfilled her 9 months, if her womb may keep the birth any longer within her. So it's telling you this rhetorical question is asking. Because after the 9 months, a woman is set to have her baby. That's a set measurement. That's the set number of times, that the woman is supposed to hold the child until she has her birth, 9 months. Whether that's 9 months on the head, or 9 months in a week, 9 months in 2 days, or 9 months in 3 hours, to that set measurement, that set number that the Most High has set, she's not going to have that child, And that's why you have, just thinking on it, that's why you have women that have child before the 9 months, or before they set to have, because, when you go to the doctor, it give them, you will have your baby in December next year after the 9 months, like they, according to the 9 months, to the countdown from when they, got pregnant. It says, it'll be like, you'll have your baby in September, or you'll have your baby in November, whatever the case may be. You'll have women that'll have their child, that'll come in labor and have their child before the time is set, until they reach that fullness of measurement, and what, the baby will come out with defects, something come out wrong with the baby, or it may come out with, the immune system might not be as strong as a baby, that, they reach that full measurement, sending her, in the womb, as long as she was supposed to be those 9 months, whatever the case may be. The immune system of that baby that came out born before that, the time period supposed to come, immune system might not be the strongest. Something might be wrong with his immune system. It may, like I say, may come out with defects. Something may be wrong with his breathing, or all kind of little stuff. The baby may look weird. It may come out deformed, whatever the case may be. So it just shows you everything has a fullness of measure that it has to meet, like that the Lord requires, man, And I'm just reading 2 Ezra 4 again, 4:37. 2 Ezra 4:37. By measure hath he measured the times, and by number hath he numbered the times. And he doeth not move nor stir them until the said measure be fulfilled, So it's just like Lord is putting on me into the Spirit. A couple precepts I'm gonna bring out, just because it's right. When we actually go back, precept upon precept, and just think upon these things, everything does have a set measure, man. Just going in with sin, or what you sin, or just like especially with judgment and prophecy. The Lord is not gonna allow one prophecy come to pass until the other prophecy is fulfilled, until it reach that the said measure, or he may not bring judgment upon this certain person or this certain nation until that measurement be fulfilled, And it's a perfect precept just to prove that. We'll jump to the book of Maccabees. We'll get 2 Maccabees, chapter 6 and 13. So this the book of 2nd Maccabees 6:13. For it is a token of his great goodness when wicked doers are not suffered any long time, but forthwith punished. And that word forthwith is just mean immediately or without delay. So from the top, 2nd Maccabees 6:13. Well, we'll start at 12, just because it's gonna go into the point later on. 2nd Maccabees 6:12. So like verse 12. Now I beseech those that read this book that they be not discouraged for these calamities, but that they judge those punishments not to be for destruction, but for a chastening of our nation. For it is a token of his great goodness when wicked doers are not suffered any long time, but forthwith punished. So it's telling you it's a great token when wicked doers are not suffered a long time. It says, but forthwith punished, but they're immediately punished. So it's a good token. It's a good thing when the wicked is immediately punished, and they not, they not, let keep getting off, letting this person get off, or this nation getting by and get off. So verse 14. For not as with other nations whom the Lord patiently whom the Lord patiently forbeareth to punish, till they be come to the fullness of their sins, so dealeth he with us. And that's the point, because it's telling you, for not as with other nations whom the Lord patiently forbeareth to punish, till they be come to the fullness of their sins, so he dealeth with us, man. So until these other nations, especially, those going according to not according, but especially on Esau Edom, until because that's one of the main nations that commit iniquities, man. This the man of perdition, man. That commit all these sins, man. And iniquity, man. He drinking that sin and iniquity like water, man. But it says what? Until they become to the fullness of their sins, so he did it for us. Until they come to that fullness of sins and iniquities, where the Lord has had enough with these other nations and Esau, the devil. What he dealing for us, man. He dealing for the children of Israel. He bringing forth that judgment upon us daily. But like it told you in verse 12, it says, but they that judge those punishments not to be for destruction, but for the chastening of our nation. So he dealing with us because he chastening us, man. It's not for our destruction, but he chastening us, man. Just like it tell you in verse 13, it's go hand in hand. It says, for it is a token of his great goodness. This is of his great goodness. It says, when wicked doers are not suffered any long time, but forthwith punished. Because he didn't suffer us a long time when we did our wickedness, or when we go off. He said he forthwith punished us. He punished us immediately, man. He bring that judgment on us immediately, without delay. Because why? Because we need that for our chastening, like it's telling you in verse 12. But like going into verse 14, the point, it says, for not as with other nations whom the Lord patiently forbeareth to punish, till they be come to the fullness of their sins, so he dealing for us. And why the Lord is dealing with you, because like I said, paraphrasing, try to grab it real quick, just to prove the point. Let's grab that. So like it, bear with me, trust me. This the book of Hebrews. Yeah, this the book of Hebrews 12:6. For whom the Lord chasteneth, so like it, for whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth. If ye endure chastening, Yahweh dealeth with you as with sons. For what son is him who the Father chasteneth not? So the Lord is dealing with us. He's giving us that chastisement, dealing with us and bringing forth that judgment. Because what? Because he received us and dealing with us as his sons and daughters. As his sons and daughters. Because what? He chose Israel and Jacob. Yasharallah, man. He chose us as a nation. We that holy people, special unto him, man. You see what I'm saying? Especially his elect. That's why he dealing with them, man. He molding them. He dealing with those. That's why I was telling you. So he dealing with us, because he dealing with us until when? Until these other nations keep doing what they are doing, committing their sins, committing their iniquity, committing all their hurtful works, so he can bring forth that righteous judgment, so he can say, they deserve this judgment when he bring it forth. So he can say, oh, they deserve these nukes, they deserve this nuclear fire, they deserve to die in a famine, they deserve, to get killed by wild beasts, they deserve whatever forth he bring upon them. This child deserve that, this mother, this father, or this boy, they deserve that judgment. Why? Because what? They sins been adding up, lifetime after lifetime, lifetime after lifetime, or it may, or just in that lifetime, they may commit, because every lifetime is different. I mean, you come in the same spirit, but You don't know how much you know iniquity and sins you was committing, man. But you know, Lord willing, you know, y'all got that point. But just to continue on, just going off the point, verse 14, we'll just read it again, because then that speech is gonna bounce off of that. 2 Maccabees 6:14, for not as with other nations whom the Lord patiently forbeareth to punish till they be come to the fullness of their sins, so dealeth he with us. So these nations, the other nations, they got to come into their fullness of sins, man. You know, just showing you how everything has a set measurement of fullness that it has to come to until the Lord take action, man. So it's the book of Revelations 18:5. It says, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh have remembered her iniquities, man. And that's just going into Babylon, you know, and the great whore, man, as a whole. He's remembered her iniquities. He says what? For her sins, it's like, yeah, for her sins have reached unto heaven, man. Her sins have reached unto heaven. You know, they reached that fullness, man. They reached that certain measure. The Lord say, hey, and that time ain't come yet, but when that time do come, that's gonna say, hey, her sins are reached unto heaven. This enough. I done had enough, man. You're gonna send Yahweh shot down to come get us elect and bring forth that judgment, man. Like I just told you in the book of Maccabees, man. Until they reach that fullness, man. And the Lord gonna be, hey, that's enough, man. Her sins have, you know, overfilled. You know, they overfill that cup, you know. And, you know, they overflow that cup. So like, but just to bounce off this Revelation 18:5, we're gonna go back to 2nd Esdras 15, and we'll start at 5. So it's the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 15:5. Behold, said the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the earth, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. So he tell you in verse 5, he said he's gonna bring what? Plagues upon the world, the sword, the famine, the death, and destruction. Why? Why he gonna do that? For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. So it's like he told you in Maccabees, he not gonna bring that judgment till they reach their fullness. So when they reach their fullness, what he gonna do? He gonna bring these plagues that he listed: the sword, that famine, that death, and the destruction. And just like he told you in verse 6, because their wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth, man. They sins have reached the heavens, like it just told you in Revelation 18:5. And just like it told you in Maccabees, until they sins become fulfilled. Like it's telling you right here in 2nd Esdras 15, the hurtful works are fulfilled. So once they hurtful works are fulfilled, when their sins have reached that set measurement that the Most High has set for them, he's gonna bring forth that judgment. He's gonna bring forth these plagues, these pestilence, man. You see what I'm saying? Then he gonna take action. Then he gonna make a move on these devils, man. The Lord not playing checkers, man. He playing chess, you know. He letting these devils think they getting by. And, you know, and getting by freely, you know, and that way they can get puffed up and think they are God, man. Think they some type of power. That's why they trying to do what they doing now, man, with the MOTB, you know, and different stuff that they doing upon the earth. They thinking they God, man. They thinking they really thinking they the rulers of the world, you know, because why? Because the Lord is prolonging that judgment and to come, man, so he can bring forth that righteous judgment, man, so he can bring forth that great wrath, you know. So there ain't gonna be no excuse, or you know how somebody do. Or like, you know, you gotta just thinking when like sometimes I don't got kids, but just like my brother had children, just thinking like you may whoop your son in front of your mother, and your mother, or why you do him like that, you know? Because so it won't be like, you know, when the Most High bring that judgment, they're gonna be like, well, damn, why you do him like that? Or, you know, he didn't deserve that. You know, these devils gonna get what they deserve because he was letting it add up. So when the judgment bring forth, it's what they deserve, man. Just like I said, it's whatever, you know, they reach that certain measure, hey, they deserve this judgment. They ain't gonna be like, you ain't supposed to do him like that because he only did this little bit. No, these devils been sinning and sinning almost, you know, their whole life. Like I tell you, when they come out of the womb, they are estranged, man. And it's just like what Apostle Ramlock was going to, Lord, when I'm saying his name right. So like if I'm not, but I was watching Apostle Ramlock earlier. It's like he was going to these devils really. That's why they puffed up. That's why they really think the Most High is dealing with them and think they are the children of the people. They really think they really got it confused, or they really think, you know, they good because ain't nothing never happened to them. The judgment hasn't, you know, came forth yet. They've been getting away with so many years, man, with so many things, with so much. You know, you actually think the Lord actually gonna, you know, give them another free pass. He gonna keep giving them a free pass. You know, they actually think, oh, America's gonna bounce back of this. Why? Because they always been bouncing back. They always been getting that free pass, you know. But if they're going to come when the Lord, you know, they say he's going to come into that fullness. And the Lord, what? He's going to have enough, man. He's going to take away those free passes he been giving out, man. You know, then judgment going to be at the door. You know, he's going to bring forth that destruction, man. But just moving on, because like I said earlier, everything has to come into its fullness, even the sins, man. You know, And just to prove that, just moving on, we'll go to the book of Romans, chapter 6. It's the book of Romans, chapter 6, and verse 23. And I'm going to just read the first half. It says, for wages, so like for the wages of sin is death. So the wages of sin is death, man. Because once your sin add up into that certain measurement, to that certain fullness, it brings forth what? Death, man. You know? And just to prove that, we're going to jump to James. You know, because like the Lord telling you here in James 1 and 14. 14, we'll start at 14. But every man is tempted. James 1 and 14 is like it. But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed. Then when lust have conceived, it bringeth forth sin. And sin when it bringeth forth, and sin is like it, and sin when it is finished. So sin when it is finished, when it reach that fullness, you know, that certain measure, what it says, it bringeth forth death. You know, that's why I told you in Romans, for the wages of sin is death. Because why? When the sin come into its fullness, it brings forth death. The Lord is going to bring forth that judgment, man. You know? And there's another precept on here I'm thinking about. So I can try to find it real quick. So like, just bear with me. Oh, I can find it, so like it. See, not I don't want that. It's not that. So like I can't think of it right now, but it's just saying, I know this paraphrase, I can't remember the chapter, but the scripture is saying, you know, like with some, he bring forth the judgment immediately, man. He don't let it. He like, well, whenever you in the act of that sin, where you commit that sin of iniquity, and the Lord's had enough. Well, that's just going into that sad measure because the Lord had enough. You know, he gonna bring forth that judgment immediately. But some, he let them get by. You know, he say, oh, I give you one more chance. And if that one more chance, he may let you slide again, or he may bring forth that judgment, man. It's just all according to the Lord will. You know, and just bouncing off the title. You know, going back at hand to, you know, the title saying everything has a fullness of measurement to reach. You know, that like I told you in second Esdras, just the same way it so like it deals with prophecy in the sayings of this book, man, and what the law, because you got a lot of Christians, confused Christians, think the law is done away with, or they think the prophecies that haven't came to pass already happened, or they think prophecies that ain't came to pass yet, they think it's not gonna happen. But actually, the Lord is waiting on. Because one prophecy can't happen without if the prophecies are in chronology of, I know I'm saying it wrong, that name wrong, but it's like it's like your tongue twister. But back to the point, the prophecies, man, are in order. They in the same order that the Lord has set them out to be in. So this prophecy can't come to pass unless the one before that come to pass. You know, until that prophecy that's before, you know, like let's say just for example. The prophecy, the MOTB can't come to pass, or you know, or come out until this certain prophecy come to pass. Just like with the nukes in World War III, that prophecy can't come to pass until the persecution and all that stuff come to pass first. You got these prophecies are in order, because just like it says, I want to say it's in Luke or Matthew, but telling you, man, it's gonna be terrible visions and all kind of stuff coming to pass. It says, but it's telling you, just paraphrasing, it says, but before all these things come to pass, they're going to persecute you, man. They're going to persecute you and throw you in jail, you know, and lock you up, you know, for the truth's sake, for Yahweh Shem's name's sake, you know. So, like I'm just going back to the point. You know, most I got these things in order, man. These things can't come to pass until they reach that full measurement, man. Until they reach that number of days that the Most High had set for to come to pass. You know, like, everything is in order, man. The Most High deals decently in order. That's why he tells us to deal decently in order, man. You see what I'm saying? The Most High just ain't all over the place, man. He got this thing. He, like I say, he playing chess, not checkers, man. He got this thing in order. He already know what next move he gonna make. He just trying to sit back and let you, do what you gonna do. Because he already know what he gonna do, man. But just back to the point at hand, we'll go to the book, Luke 21 and 32. This the book, Luke, chapter 21, verse 32. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass away till all be fulfilled. So, this generation, and that's how you know, it's going off topic, but that's how you know regeneration, man, is real, man. According to the Bible, according to the Yahweh Shem Yahushua, because he was saying this back in his time. This real letter, Yahushua speaking. He said, hey, this generation shall not pass till what? To all be fulfilled, man. Going into what? The prophecies, the sayings, the law, And just to prove that, we're going to jump to Luke 24. Because the same generation back again until all be fulfilled. Like I just told you, the generation not going to pass away till all be fulfilled, man. But this is Luke 24 and 44. 44, and this is how I try speaking again. It says, and he said unto them, these are the words which I speak unto you while I was yet with you. Because he said this. He said this in Luke 21. He said this before. He said, these are the words which I speak. So like these are the words which I spake unto you while I was yet with you, that all things must be fulfilled. It's going to tell you all things that must be fulfilled. It says, which were written in the law of Moses. So all these things in the law got to be fulfilled, man. Just like I can tell you, I think I got that precept right now. So like we just going to continue. But, just like it was telling you, though, in the precept paraphrasing, he come out to destroy the law, but to fulfill, because all these things got to be fulfilled, like he's saying here, just from the top, though. Luke 24 and 44, and he said unto them, these are the words which I speak unto you while I was yet with you. All things must be fulfilled, which were written in the law of Moses and in the prophets and in the Psalms concerning me. So all these things that's concerning Yahushua, written in the law and the prophets and in the Psalms, they gotta be fulfilled, man. And that's how you know things are set out into a point in time, man, to a certain measurement that the Lord, got set out. And we're going to prove that with Habakkuk. So like Habakkuk 2 and 3. Because like it told you right here in verse 44, Luke 24 and 44. That's my track. So like it says, starting in the middle, it says that all things must be fulfilled, which were written in the law of Moses and in the prophets. So the things that the prophets spake, they got to be fulfilled, man. We're just going into Jacob's trouble. And, in World War III and all these different things that's been prophesied by the mouth of the prophets. Through Yahweh Shem Yahushua. But just to get this real quick, Habakkuk 2 and 3. It says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time. So the vision is yet for an appointed time, man. And what that vision is the end, man. That end vision is appointed to a appointed time until the fullness thereof come. Until the Lord say, hey, it don't reach the measurement that which I set out for which I required. Boom, this one the vision gonna come. So it's again Habakkuk 2 and 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end of it, it's like it. But at the end, it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, but it will surely come. It will tarry not, because the vision is for an appointed time. That's why it seems like it's tarrying. But the Lord has set things out that must happen first before the vision come. Everything got to reach that fullness. A measurement that the Most High has required to meet, like just going back into the title in hand just to prove that, man. So like I was saying before, this not gonna happen without this happening first, or that not gonna happen without this happening first, because everything got to reach that certain measurement, man. Everything got to reach that fullness until the Lord say, okay, boom, this can happen, boom, that can happen. All right, that prophecy reached its fullness. I want this prophecy to happen, or they did this, or their iniquities came to their fullness. I want this judgment to come, Or he on his last strike, send a death angel get him, Everything has to reach that fullness of measurement, and even on the right-hand side. But just to continue on, a few more precepts, man, it's a short lesson. We're going to get the book of Matthew, chapter 5. Five and 17. So it's the book of Matthew, chapter 5, and verse 17, that's just the precept I was just talking about. It says, think not I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. Because like it told you back in Luke 24, the things that was written of the prophets in the law of Moses and in the Psalms, they got to be fulfilled. So from the top, think not I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. Verse 18, for verily I say unto you, to heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall not in wise pass from the law, to all be fulfilled, man. So that's plain upon the tables, man. All these things must be fulfilled, man. They got to reach that certain measurement, man. Until they come to this fullness, and this gonna pass away, according to the law. And the things that were spoken of the prophets, man. For the prophecy got to come to pass first, man. And just like I was saying on the right hand side as well, man. Let me grab this real quick. Because on the right hand side of the truth, hey, we got to come into the fullness, man. We got to come into our full measurement that the Lord has set us out for us to reach, man, that full potential. And whatever each man has, in his life to reach. Especially concerning the elect, man. So they reach that full measurement. Then it's when the Lord said, I'm going to get my elect. Because just like on the right hand side, you got the elect getting better and better until they reach their fullness righteousness that the Lord requires. Because we know, like the scripture tell you in Psalms, our righteousness is as 50 rads, man. So until they reach that full requirement, until the Lord say, hey, well done, man. He did what I want to do. Hey, well done, servant. He met his requirement. He met that, that measurement of fullness. And then that's where he gonna boom. And then just like on the left hand side with the wicked, when they reach their measurement of wickedness that they have to reach, and that be fulfilled, that's what he gonna bring forth that judgment upon the wicked. Just like with the righteous, when they bring forth and reach that level of fullness that they supposed to reach on righteousness on the right hand side, and that's where he gonna come and save them, man. And gonna get his elect. But it's the book Ephesians 4:13. So like it. I almost lost the precept. Ephesians 4:13. I think I'm gonna start at 12. No, I'm gonna start at 13. So like it. Ephesians 4:13. 12. So like it. Ephesians 4:12. For the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Hamashiach, till y'all come into the unity of the faith and of the knowledge of the Son of Yahweh, unto a perfect man, unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of Hamashiach, that we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro, and carried away about with every wind of doctrine, by the sleight of man and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie and wait to deceive. And verse 13 is the point. And until we come into that unity of faith, or the knowledge of the Son of Yahweh, unto the perfect man, or to the measurement of the stature, into the fullness of Christ, man. So we got to come to that fullness of Hamashiach, man. We got to come into that fullness of Hamashiach through Yahweh Hashem, man. We got to come into that fullness, man. So it says what? Like in verse 12, it says, for the perfecting of the saints. This is the perfecting of the saints, man. So until we come into that perfection that the Lord has set out, a set measurement set out for us, until we reach that requirement. And then, I say that's what he gonna come get his elect, because he molding us right now, man. He molding the elect man. Lord, when we were part of that number, but he molding his elect man right now to reach that fullness, man. To that perfecting of the saints. And just to get all the bounce out of that, we'll get 1 Corinthians, man. Because the elect, all the elect, man, when they going to the perfecting of the saints and reaching that full measurement, they all gotta be on the same page. They all gotta be in the unity in the spirit, man. That's why I tell you, I think it's Zephaniah 2:1, if I'm not mistaken. It says, come you together, all you men of Israel, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just grab that real quick. Because it's telling us to come together in the spirit, man, and come together in the flesh too as well. Because, all the men, that's how they let, they going to know each other somehow, man, whether it's through via the internet or in real life. So, like, yeah, gather together. That's what it is. Zephaniah 2:1. Gather yourself together, yea, gather together, O nation not desired, before the decree bring forth, before the day pass as the chaff, before the fierce anger of the Lord come upon you, before the day of the Lord's anger come upon you. And so we got to gather together, man. That gathering together is ushered through the spirit. How about Shimei, man? Everybody, together, man, in the spirit, in the same mind, man. Minding the same things, man, the same spirit, and understanding prophecy the same way. There ain't gonna be no divisions. It ain't gonna be, this person thinking this, or the other brother thinking this, or this camp over here you know, prophesying this, and the other camp over here prophesying something opposite, man. Y'all gonna be at the same unity, of the same mind, the same spirit, man. You know, that spirit, Yahweh Shem Yahushua. But just like we was gonna get 1 Corinthians 1 and 10 real fast. I don't know, just to get this. 2 more and we wrap it up. Just like it, baby. It's right here. Pages stuff. So this is the book of 1 Corinthians 1 and 10. It says, "Now I beseech you, brethren, by the name of our Lord, by the name of our Lord, it's like you, Hamashiach Yahushua, that ye all speak the same thing, and that there be no divisions among you, but that ye be perfectly joined together in the same mind and in the same judgment." You know, so we got to be, you know, in the name of Hamashiach Yahushua, and we got to what? Speak the same things, man. You know, prophesying the same things. It says what? And that there be no divisions among you, but that ye perfectly, it's like that ye be perfectly joined together in the same mind and the same judgment. So we got to be together, joined together in the same mind and the same judgment, man. You know, that's going into that gather together, you know, like it was saying in Zephaniah, man. Because we gather together in the same mind, the same judgment, man, the unity of the Spirit, Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You know, coming to that fullness of measure. And just to finish it off, we're going to jump to the book of 2 Corinthians 4 and 13. Just bouncing off that 1 Corinthians. This is the book of 2 Corinthians 4 and 13. "We having the same spirit of faith, according as it is written, I believe, and therefore I have spoken. We also believe, therefore we speak." Why? Because why? They're going to be in that same spirit of faith, man. Like I tell you again from the top, we having the same spirit of faith, according as it is written. I believe, and therefore I have spoken. We also believe, therefore we speak. Because we believe, so we're going to go out and speak the word of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. We're going to make the lessons. We're going to study and show ourselves to prove, man. You know, because we in that same spirit of faith. We in that same spirit. We in the same mind. We speaking the same things, man. You know, coming into that fullness of the body of Hamashiach, man. You know, the perfectness of that saints. You know, trying to reach that fullness of measurement that the Most High has set out for us to reach, man. You know. And then, you know, just like going back to the title, man, everything has a fullness of measurement to reach, man. You know, on the right-hand side and on the left-hand side, you know. But, hey, man, Lord willing, this video was edifying, you know. And we're just going to finish it out, giving our praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Shalom until next time, man.